So, this is the right where the buyer has the option to buy the shares. This is not an obligation, nothing but compulsory. Okay. So, options for this privilege, the buyer pays a premium which he would be a fraction of prices which is underlying security. Okay. So, call option is normally an right, but not an obligation. This is very important for 1 mark questions in the IBPS or SBI categories. Then what is a capital? So, I told you that what is a share? A share is a small denomination of a capital. Then what is a capital? A capital refers to a total financial assets or the financial value of assets such as funds held in the deposit accounts as well. In general, a capital is money invested in a business to generate income. So, what is capital adequacy then? So, adequacy is nothing but more. The test of a securities business ability to meet its financial obligation. So, the financial obligation, the compulsory, okay, to meet the capital, okay, so more of the security. So, the capital adequacy rules means that a bank or financial institution has to or have enough money to conduct its business activities. So, if a company has more and more capital adequacy, okay, in between manufacturing of a product or selling of a product, okay, it can run its business completely without any hurdles. What is market capitalization then? So, in the initial classes we have learned Sensex, Nifty, Dow Jones, FTSE, etc. So, these market capitalization is high, okay, in India or compared to the international stock exchanges. So, it is the total value of a company in the stock market. This market capitalization obviously fluctuates as the share prices moves ups and downs. Okay. So, in India recently, so because of some financial measures taken by the Ministry of Finance or Finance Ministry, automatically we are experiencing ups and downs in the stock market. Okay. So, the maximum the market can get, okay, so the capital is known as market capitalization, and it can be shown to the international world of stock markets. So, that the Bombay Stock Exchange Sensex or National Stock Exchange Nifty, okay. So, both can attract more and more investments. So, these ups and downs we are seeing this consecutively since last 1 year. Then what is capital appreciation? So, appreciation, the meaning of appreciation is increasing. So, an increase in the value of investment is known as capital appreciation. So, it is measured by the increase in the funds unit and the value from the time of purchase to the time of redemption. Okay. So, one looks after increase, okay, rise in the capital, which is known as capital appreciation. What is a coupon and what is a contract? A coupon is an interest rate on the debt security that the issuer promises to pay to the holder until maturity. So, a coupon rate we call it as, usually expressed as a percentage of face value. Then what is a contract? A contract between two people, buyer and seller. Okay. So, a contract happens on any security market. So, as an agreement between the buyer and seller to buy or sell the securities at an agreed price. So, this can be happen through the account which is done by demat account or demat trading. So, demat trading is a trading of shares that are in the electronic form or dematerialized form. Earlier, the shares are to be traded in the paper form. Okay. So, if anyone has purchased a company shares, the company used to send its memorandum of association, articles of association, the share value you have purchased, okay. So, the letter of contract, the coupon rate, etc., in a postal. This used to involve lots of cost, material cost, for example, we say. So, to overcome this paper burden, the Government of India, Ministry of Finance through SEBI has introduced the dematerialized shares, okay, which is in short known as DMAT. So, DMAT is an electronic form of shares we call, that is, the shares in the physical form are cancelled and credit in the form of electronic balances. These are maintained on highly secured systems at a depository. So, therefore, a technology is used here, completely information technology is used here, okay, to maintain the secrecy of the value of each share which is traded on the computers, nothing but systems. So, we can find the absence of paper trading here. So, what is a DMAT account? A DMAT account may be offered by the banks or any other financial institutions for opening a account in the stock market. Whenever we trade, that is buy or sell the shares to the stock exchanges, DMAT account along with the savings or current account as well as your PAN card details are very important, okay, because whenever you buy the shares, a part of amount will be deducted from your bank account. Whenever you sell the shares, amount will be credited in your bank account. So, therefore, DMAT account is a subsidiary of the bank account which can be helpful used in trading through stock exchanges. So, what is earnings per share? So, EPS we call it as. So, it is most important measure, okay. So, how much the board of directors or managing directors, okay, or shareholders of a company or earning per share. So, this measure expresses how much the company is earning for every share held. So, EPS provides a more pure measure of profitability here. So, the shareholders or the directors, that is board of directors, based on their share value, okay, will analyze or measure the EPS, maybe in the form of dividends or maybe in the form of cash. If it is dividends, okay, or in the form of that is shares itself, their EPS will be high, because in return again they are investing in the company only, in the company shares only. What is ESOP? What is Employees Stock Option Plan? So, this Employees Stock Option Plan is a trust given by the company to allot some of its paid up capital to its employees over a period of time. So, this ESOP can also be meant or used as a reward to the employees, okay. So, recently for example, if you speak about merging of State Bank of India, okay. So, there is merging of the entities, firms of State Bank of India like SBH, SBT, SBM, SPP, okay, or else State Bank of Bikaner and Jaipur, okay. So, all these 5 banks along with Bharatiya Janata Bank. The employees of these subsidiary banks like SBH will have an option how much shares can be bought by them for SBI. They are entering into SBI right now. SBH employees are entering into SBI. They are transforming into SBI employees, because SBI has merged, okay, its subsidiary banks, okay, within it. So, employees are provided an option, ESOP, Employees Stock Option Plan. So, how much they can purchase, how much they want to purchase. So, this is definitely seen in any company, this is normally heard during mergers and acquisitions. Of course, Each and every software company or manufacturing company also offers shares, part of shares to its employees, maybe 10, 20 kind of shares are offered to them. Okay. So, it is as a trust given by the company or a reward given by the company. So, what are the derivatives? So, according to the Securities Contract Act 1956, derivatives may be derived as a security derived from a debt instrument, share, loan, whether secured or unsecured, which involves a risk instrument or contract for differences or any other form of security. So, derivatives is also a type of share we can call. Okay. The value of derivative instrument depends upon the underlying asset, the underlying commodities including grain, coffee, beans, precious metals, okay, like gold, silver, foreign exchange, rates of currencies, shares of companies traded on recognized stock exchanges and stock indexes. So, derivatives are normally traded in the commodity market, we can say. Okay. So, these derivatives are very important for commodity market, maybe gold, silver, coal, steel, okay, etc., etc. So, therefore, the term derivatives refers to the broad class of financial instruments, which mainly include options and futures. These instruments derive their value from the price of underlying asset. So, based on the value of an asset only the trading takes place. It may be the value of a gold, value of a coal. Okay. So, these commodity derivatives are very important for daily transactions. Okay. So, they do not have their worth of own, okay, and they derive the value from the claim they give to the owners. So, therefore, the value of an underlying asset is being fixed by the owners, okay, of that financial asset. For example, if we take example of a derivative like milk, we derive butter from the milk. Okay. So, the butter's asset value is decided by the owner himself. Okay. In a forward contract where the agreement between the two parties to buy or sell an asset at a specified point of time in the future. And coming to the future contracts, it is a standardized future contract to buy or sell the underlying asset, may be long or the short contracts. It must have a specific price at a specific future date through a specific exchange. Okay. So, what is hedge? Hedge is the prime aim of introduction of future market to allow for companies and individuals to protect themselves against future unfavorable changes in prices. Example, take example of gold. So, gold is a hedge product. Okay. So, if one purchases gold, so he can have a very good security to protect himself against the future unfavorable changes in the prices. We can take also example of land. If one purchase land or one investment in land or one invest in gold, okay, fine. So, the range of risk is always less, because gold or the land, okay, value do not decrease as and then, all of a sudden it never comes down. But in case of stock markets, okay, if the investors loses their confidences over a company, okay, automatically that company's stock price decreases, all of a sudden it may happen. So, FIIs, foreign institutional investors, so these people, okay, so they completely invest in a particular country through stock exchanges, in a particular company, if they have confidence. To get the confidence, they look for the company's value, and then country's GDP, then people's purchasing power parity, and the decrease in the inflation. Okay. So, coming to the next one is IPOs, initial public offerings. So, IPOs are the first sale of stocks of a company to a public. So, whenever a new firm is introducing its share in the market, it should introduced through a IPOs only. So, IPOs are very important in the newspapers, that is business newspapers. Okay, every day you can find these IPOs. Okay. So, it must be a new firm introducing the shares in the market in order to gain the investments. For example, Tatas are there. Okay. If the Tatas wants to start a new business, new kind of business in the market, a new firm will be started, and this new firm introduces its shares through IPOs only. So, these IPOs are the new or the fresh stocks introduced in the market. IPOs always depends upon the confidence of a company, okay, to be much more gained for the shareholders. What is inside trading? So, inside trading is a illegal trading on information not available to the general people, and insider trading is a sin. Okay. So, it is also known as false trading. So, it is against to the rules and regulations of SEBI, SEBI Act 1992. So, therefore, insider trading is completely banned in India, not only in India, in any other stock exchanges in the world. So, this happens, okay, fine, between the companies normally, okay, whenever the mergings and acquisitions takes place. What is a mutual fund? A mutual fund is a professionally managed investment scheme usually run by an asset management companies, okay, that brings together all the investors or a group of people and invest their money in stocks or bonds or in other securities. Okay. So, mutual fund carries less risk in the markets compared to the shares, because for example, if you invest 1 lakh worth of shares in a particular company, if that particular company gets losses, all the 1 lakh worth of shares will be vanished away. You lost total 1 lakh rupees, okay, by investing in a particular company. But if you invest through mutual funds, okay, fine, mutual funds is also a type of instruments, a type of shares we can call. Okay. So, these mutual funds nothing but your 1 lakh will be divided, okay, to 3, for example, 30,000, 35,000, 35,000, or it can be divided even to 10, okay, by 10, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 each. So, these 10,000 each will be invested in a particular company. Okay. So, 10 companies will be chosen and these 10,000 will be invested in each company. So, making it to 1 lakh. Okay. So, these mutual funds for 6 months or 1 year will be promised for returns, and they will carry a very good returns and also carry less risk, because if a company fails, you may lose only 10,000 there, remaining 90,000 also brings you the profits. Okay. It all automatically generates the revenue there. Okay, fine. So, therefore, most of the people, if they want less risk, okay, and long term profits with short profits, they will invest in mutual funds only. What is a bullion market? Okay. So, bullion market is a gold market. So, it is a market where gold is traded. Okay. So, Prime Minister Narendra Modi mentioned more about this bullion market, okay, where the people wants to invest in the he wants to make people to invest in the gold. So, gold as a medium of exchange. So, money which is known as medium of exchange, now the bullion market, the bullion nothing but the gold, okay, is also known as a medium of exchange. It should be treated as a Yellowstone, which is known for only investment. Coming to India, Indian people are fond towards gold. They show much interest on the gold itself. So, they wear the gold, they wore gold, okay, fine, as an ornaments. But financial people in the financial markets treat gold as an investment, best source of investment, which happens in China, which happens in New York Stock Exchange, which happens in Tokyo Stock Exchange, etc., etc. Okay. So, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called that nearly 300 tons of gold is available in India, that is old gold, which is a precious metal. If this 300 tons of gold is pulled back into the market, so we can have very good gold market, gold trading in India. Okay. So, therefore, you can also purchase the gold bonds, gold instruments through the banks, through the stock exchanges, and make money. If you find a very good profits, very good prices rising in the gold, you can sell these bonds or instruments and make money. If you find a decrease in the gold bonds or gold rates, we can also sell these gold instruments or gold bonds through the bullion market only. Okay. So, in everyday news, for every 1 hour, from 11 o'clock the stock market starts, and by the evening 5 p.m. it ends. By 3 p.m. only the transactions get ends, by 5 p.m. the clearing houses will get concludes. Okay. So, every day students look after the news, okay, like the NDTV business, Z business, CNN, IBN, okay, like national news channels, as well as every day go through the newspapers to kindly have a gist over the stock market terminology. Okay, you will get definitely 3 to 4 marks from this financial awareness only. In the coming classes, we will be taking about tax also. Okay, the next class will be on the banking awareness. Okay. So, in this banking awareness only, we will be dealing with the taxes also, because it is the banks which also collects the taxes through online. Okay. So, the banks which conducts various kinds of banking activities. Apart from that, financial activities also done through the banks. That is why as a part of that we are learning the stock market, as well as the taxation also, what are the direct taxes and indirect taxes, how it is fetching through the banks, etc., etc. we will be learning in the next coming classes. By then, just have a revision of this stock market and follow the TSAT classes regularly, because mains examinations are approaching right now. IBPS POs, IBPS clerks, IBPS regional rural banks, nothing but Gramina banks. Okay, the students who have done with their prelims, who have made the list in mains, okay, will be preparing for them. So, TSAT wishes them all the best. Okay. So, in the coming November and December, they are going to approach the mains, in which banking awareness or general awareness is very important topic. So, the students, we wish you to get a 40 out of 40 marks, okay, in this mains examination, that is general studies, general awareness part, and TSAT is with you all the time. Okay. Follow the TSAT classes regularly and keep in touch with your studies and with TSAT. Thank you.